Hey everybody, I got challenged to a reverse grip duel, and today we're gonna watch it.
With special guest.
Instructor Bensei.
Hi guys.
Is it Bensei or Bensai?
That's a really good question.
You'll have to
Something
find out on
we
Min.
definitely won't come up.
So let me just give some context here. We have been hard at work creating the first season of Min-Max for the last, well, we've been doing it for quite a while, and you've also been doing it, but we've kind of been in the trenches of it. And I've been very busy. So this duel happened about a little less or a little more than a month ago.
Yeah.
And I just haven't had time to even look at the footage because we've been so busy. But this is our first look at the footage, and we're just gonna kind of go back and we're gonna do a breakdown of it. And we have Bensei, who I'm just gonna call Ben because I don't want to have to keep saying that, who was with us from Min-Max, and he's hanging out for a couple of days. So we thought, hey, have another martial artist look at this. And with that, we're gonna get right to it. So, we had somebody come in and say they wanted to challenge me to a reverse grip duel. They said they wanted to train for a year, and they eventually came back and they decided they were gonna do 2 reverse grip swords versus me and my 1 normal grip sword. And we're just kind of gonna go through and watch the footage and then have a little bit of commentary. Clark was there, I was there. I haven't watched this. I haven't really thought a lot about this or like what happened because we were so busy with Min-Max.
Too busy on Min-Max. So,
Yeah.
but now that that's done, we can go back and
So
reanalyze.
yeah, we're gonna take a look at this and let's just see how it goes. So this is the first pass. Oh.
There's a delay.
I'm trying very hard. I'm afraid of those 2 swords because I don't want to get doubled. So a lot of, yeah, there we go. So the first hit, I'll show you that first hit.
Yeah,
and it's
please
actually
do.
his hit. So what I want to show you here, this is fast. I come in and I'm dealing with that
Parry.
sword, and the second sword comes around and you can see that it makes
Climb
contact right there. So,
Does
Yeah.
look flat though.
It's definitely not good edge alignment. I'll say that. much.
Look.
so it does hit, and the rules of the duel where it has to make contact, it has to have a certain level of quality. And Charles was judging the quality. It goes fast, it's hard to see these things on video, we can always see
Yeah.
more stuff.
I mean,
But
also
this-
he's not used to judging reverse grip angles because nobody fights with this. But
No.
that is flat.
Okay, that really doesn't matter because it still counts as a point. By
Okay.
the rules of the duel, this counts as a point. So he gets the first point, despite what you might think of the quality.
I mean, quality was
Okay,
a
all right.
thing.
You don't like the quality, but we're gonna keep going. So he gets the first point, and again, it's just that. So when I first heard about this, I didn't know it was gonna be double, and I didn't have a lot of time. I didn't really do much training for this. We'll get to that later. but what my biggest fear in this whole duel was getting doubled, because I don't want. Yeah.
He has 2 things. You have 1 thing. You can only address 1 thing at ever 1 point. So
Yeah.
ergo,
Yeah.
doubling is the hardest thing to mitigate.
Yes. So, and I don't like to double as a fencer.
No, I will say that I do notice in his work and yours, he is extremely cautious of you.
Yes, he is, and I want to compliment him. I want to
Yeah.
compliment him. He had good distance management, and he did not. I was really afraid that he was gonna rush forward and try and just like double, and he did a really good job of being cautious, and I really think that was good, good fencing.
Shows
Yeah.
a bit of wisdom.
So I'm just kind of keeping him on his toes there. I don't want him to think that he can get close to me.
Even though he has the reverse grip, he does kind of still outrange
Oh,
you.
he outranges me by a lot. This guy is really tall.
That
So
was
this
a
is the next point.
Yeah.
So
You're
here's-
at his ways.
So, and I've realized that he's very tall, and even though he has a range disadvantage because of reverse grip, he's so tall that I don't want to let him hit me when I'm at a distance.
Right.
So I Shisen in here, and I catch him right there and push him back, and I kind of stuff the afterblow there. That's what I was really concerned about. So,
Yeah, very much so.
yeah. All right. This person is chosen, by the way, to remain anonymous. They showed up in the full mask, and I didn't want their face on it, so we're not going to talk about who they are.
Sure.
Fence. So that
Interesting.
wasn't
Wait,
a
yeah,
hit,
no, go
but
back
you
to
heard a
that.
clack. This is really interesting.
Yeah, this is.
So I
interesting.
go for this leg shot,
And he,
because again, I don't necessarily need these to hit. I need them to scoot him back. So I go for this leg shot, and it's really interesting. It does make contact. This should be an easy thing to defend, but it makes contact, and I think what happens is he actually hits himself right there.
You also. So what's interesting is you blew. He did parry it. You blew through the parry, So you would have hit the leg, but he
voided it.
He voided his
yes.
leg and parried.
He
so
voided
you
the
did
leg
not, so you
and
blew
parried.
through,
Good.
and it didn't matter.
And this is good fencing. Again, he
Yeah,
voids his
that's
leg. He's
very
got
nice.
good distance management, and this wouldn't have done anything. This isn't like an actual hit, but it was interesting that the structure wasn't there, even with my weak cut.
Your one hand.
Yeah, that
I mean, I
shouldn't
guess in
have-
theory
yeah.
you have a one-handed cut. He has a one-handed parry.
Yes,
so
yes,
like,
correct.
Yeah.
And then we're back on.
And then,
So yeah, you can see here. So I kind of get tangled up, but I'm protecting myself from behind. So you'll see what happens here. So I come forward here, and again, I'm just sheathing. I don't want to be in there. And as it catches, I wind around, and his arm doesn't have a good angle because of the angle of the sword. He might have been able to hit, but because of this, I'm able to get up underneath it, and then I'm kind of caught in there, but I'm safe.
Yeah, and you also would be slicing arms here.
Yeah,
as
yeah,
you
yeah.
extract,
That
so.
arm is no longer working for him in
Yeah.
the way that it started. Okay. Yep.
Okay,
and
so-
again, good sportsmanship.
Oh yeah, of course.
He
of course.
indicated
He
the calls.
indicated calls. It was great. You know?
One thing that we probably should point out here is that his armor is made of metal.
Steel, yes. And that
so-
does come up later.
Yeah.
His armor was made out of metal, which isn't standard and does cause some issues in an unarmored duel because things tend to skate off, and we'll get to that later.
Sure.
So we're fencing again. Again, I just am being very cautious. I don't want to get in there. So this gets called as a double hand shot. So we're gonna take a look at this. This is called a double hand shot. So I come in to snipe the hand, and he kind of loosens his hands to shoot from underneath, and it ends up about here.
That's fascinating.
This is where I want to once again point out, if you look at his quillions, they are sideways. He is hitting you flat in the hands here.
So
Which hitting flat to the hand would be uncomfortable.
It would be uncomfortable.
It would still could possibly
this
cut or break your hands.
under the rules of the duel. The thing that can confuse, it is very much a flick cut with letting. So it's mostly a momentum cut, and there's not a lot of structure behind it. But it is to a sensitive body part, and I'm not going to sit here and say hand shots don't count.
Yeah.
No,
I
right.
think that both of these cuts weren't like the strongest. So but we call it a double. No one gets points.
And
Sure.
this time I would agree that this was a double because even though he hit flat to the hands, hitting to the hands is still bad at all times.
Yeah.
Yeah, very much so.
Double.
The first double, which is pretty good because both of us were
People are
afraid that
fencing
it
cautiously,
would end like 0-1 and
Yeah,
just
yeah,
double,
yeah,
double.
yeah.
So both fencers are fencing very clean.
Again, I just don't want to get into that range.
Right.
And I want to get him to. So again, the problem here is because he has two. There are so many tactics I have to come in and suppress one sword and go to the other one, and I will hit, right? If I suppress and go, the problem is that second sword, so I don't feel comfortable closing. I feel like I have to get an uncontested hit and then fade out of distance and time.
You can't
Very
just
much so.
rush in
No.
and get him to meet because you can only deal with one. You have to wait
Correct.
for him to attack, parry the afterblow.
Oh, that was an
Yeah,
interesting
this here.
one.
This is an
What was
interesting
that?
one. So as I hit, it glances up and off.
The armor.
And then his sword comes in underneath, and
you
it
make
gets
contact to his hands and push
looked
it
like hands and
before.
feet.
So
he
this
does.
is an interesting one. So one of the things we talked about is a high-low priority in this.
Sure.
And that is, at the beginning of this, we decided that if you get hit above the waist, it takes priority over a below-the-waist hit. And this was to this is to make sure that like the hits I'm throwing out them out safely to keep distance. But if I just blitzed in there and threw a one-handed shot at his leg and he domed me in the head, that would be his point.
Yeah.
Because
Right,
I think that's crappy fencing.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I don't want to reward that. And so in this situation, because his thrust comes in and it hits and kind of skates and it's low, this is low high priority. It's into the cup. So it kind of like skates down low. It wouldn't have been good.
Wouldn't have been a good day,
but
one day was definitely worse than the other.
That's a weird one.
Yeah.
That's a weird one. That's just the angle coming down is that he can't defend himself. You see, and so it goes up. This is a defensive maneuver.
He tried to parry and thrust at the same time.
Yeah, and it didn't go. So that kind of happens. All right.
It was a pretty cool idea.
It was an interesting
from
idea.
Him, though, being able to parry into a thrust. That's a good action.
Yeah, for high-low priority.
Yeah.
And then we're here. Back in the soup. Almost, but not quite.
He is he does also genuinely keep his hands
Yes.
pulled in, which is also great
Hand
on
forearm
him
indication.
because the hands are very exposed. So he did a good
Yeah,
job.
yeah.
Of
He did a smart
did.
job.
that target.
It did, but here I do get that hand. I've been fishing for it right there. So I come up and over because there's just not a cross in the way. And so that does
well,
hit.
his hand
Yeah.
drifted a little bit,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that was all it took.
So that's a
Yeah.
hand shot.
Yeah, very much
which
so.
he called for you. So
Yeah, no.
yeah.
Everybody's been very respectful in this bout. We've both been indicating when we get hit. We indicate. So that's how it should be. That's how it always should be. This is a great fight.
He also looks. Is he taller than you?
So much taller than me.
He's
So,
a whole head
so you
above
might not
you.
be able to see it, but this guy is like a foot and a half
he's a
taller
foot
than
taller,
me.
and he's crouched. And
Yeah,
you were standing,
and so
you were standing up.
So the height difference. Oh, it's also the camera perspective because it's close to me. The height
Sure.
difference was pretty intense.
Okay.
But
Which
that's
means
not-
longer weapons as well.
Yeah, I mean, like, no, I think we both have similar length weapons.
Okay.
It is a thing to deal with. But it's a thing I deal with at every tournament, so I can't sit here and say.
No, of course.
Yeah, right.
It's
Like,
something that you have to learn to navigate, but it
Yes.
is an important piece of all
yes,
factors.
it's good. It's good to know.
Sure.
All right. I just don't want to get close to those doubles.
yeah, and then
That
Yeah.
was
nice.
nice.
Parry,
So
parry,
nice.
yeah, so
headshot.
I want it. So he starts to come at me. This is what I've been fishing for, the parries, and I see it, and then I come in with the
Bang,
headshot there.
headshot.
So I come into this headshot, and then I suppress
Boom.
the hands, and I continue around to the hand,
Yeah.
and then I
really
come
nice.
out.
That was a really good exchange for you.
Yeah, that
Which
was a.
this is also goes to show you wanted that exact
I
thing.
wanted him to
and
charge
he has
me.
not been
no,
charging.
No, I
He's
was
been very cautious.
impressed with how cautious he was during this whole thing. It was a great. It was good. It was
I was
good.
gonna say, I think he knows that in order to actually get some sustainable shots on you, you must be inside of his range,
Yes.
which is shortened effectively
By
because
reverse
of
grip.
having reverse grip.
Yes.
So he just has to play a waiting game and wait for you to spring in.
And it really threw off my game plan with the two swords because I'm not able to suppress the way I want to with one sword.
Sure.
So now we get into the next round. Again, I really want him to stay back.
You still blow through those.
yeah. Because there, you normally, if it was...
This
if
is
it was-
his best shot. I want to talk about
know,
this.
yeah.
Right,
So this is...
Right before
right
that.
before that, there was a moment after that parry where normally that's the time to shoot
I would go
in,
in, yeah, no, but
he
because
has
of
that
the sword,
second
yeah.
sword, you couldn't do that. You had
No,
to wait
it's
until he
not
committed
safe.
the second sword.
So a lot of the shots that he's gotten on me previously were good shots, but they were these flicky kind of
flat
momentum.
shots.
I will let you think what you will. I'm going to count them as shots. But this is a good one. Now, this is kind of a high risk, high reward shot. He goes to full extension like this. He's basically holding it in as forward of a grip as he can and kind of pushing it forward. It had contact. It would have gone in. It's not a structured thrust because he's holding out like this, but it's enough.
It's
It's
more than
enough
enough force,
that
yeah.
it would have done some serious damage. And he gets me at that full range. He's just able to be so long, and
Yeah.
he's practiced that flick cut. I can tell.
yeah.
I still think that it would have been much more effective in a forward grip,
Yeah,
but he manages to
it
do
was
it.
a clean action.
It was a clean action, and he does it. He does it nicely, and he guards it, and he gets back. It was good. It was a good hit. All right, so here we go. Back in the soup. Now
Man.
this is the one I was frustrated with.
Yes.
Okay.
This is the
when we
one I was
talk about
frustrated with.
armor.
So I come in and I thrust and I hit, but you can see
Beautifully.
right
Oh my
here,
gosh, you hit. Do
you can see right here that it slides off
it
because
skates
of the
off.
armor, and that it's in. It's hard to say, right?
Yeah.
Like it's this. If this had been flesh, it would have stuck.
If it had been a
but you can see,
regular
it
jacket.
skid off there. You can see the bend in the blade and the flex because there's
Yeah.
nothing to
But
take it.
interestingly,
Quillian's
here on his
catch
afterblow, look.
So
you
this afterblow comes
you
in.
hit his hand and suppress it, turning
Turns
it
it flat,
flat.
so
Yeah.
you're not
So,
gonna get cut.
But
That's
so by the rules of the duel,
which is important.
which is important, Charles called this as a hit.
Yeah,
and that
he
counts.
called it as a double. but
it counts as a double. I do
again-
think, and I have not seen this footage yet. This is the first time I've seen this
Yeah.
footage. I do think that's flat. In the moment, I
well,
acknowledge.
felt
it's not
contact,
just
yep.
flat. You press the hands, which is what made it roll flat.
Yes.
So you kind of suppress
But
the action
it-
in addition to it being flat.
And I continue on to indicate
To-
and not cut. I do
to
not
the
cut
back of the
here, back of the
head,
head,
yeah.
and suppress. This gets called as a double, which again, I agree with the rules that it was a double.
Mm-hmm.
Clark does not like it.
I specifically here because that afterblow came in, your hands made contact with his hands to suppress that blow, and then it hit flat. to right here.
Yeah. I should specify when I
flat
said
to hands and head, valid. Here,
I should specify that when I say this is my first time watching it, I watched like we did like a quick half of the video pre-screen, and I was like, no, these are good insights. Let's save them for the video. So
Yeah,
I have
very
not
much so.
seen past this point, and we've only seen it once. So, all right. Call that a double. Oh, his
also,
finger. Yeah, the piece of his gauntlet came off.
Gauntlet exploded.
Yeah.
Well, that just tells you what happens when you punch someone's quillion.
I don't know what he's doing. Oh, he's pointing out the. Oh wow! Hold on a
There's
second.
a big dent in his armor from where you thrust him. So
Wow.
when this happened and you got that
Oh,
thrust
my.
and the thing went flying, I was afraid your sword tip broke off.
I was yeah, but I mean like
That's
Little dent
insane.
there. It dented and skipped. Yeah.
it's one of those things, and this is the reason it's interesting. They do allow breastplates like this in HEMA, and if that happened, it would have still counted in HEMA. I do think I was expecting a Blossfectin fight, and it's debatable whether this would have changed things. I feel like it might have, but at the same time, who knows? So I'm not contesting this point.
What I can say is that I can definitely tell the intent of your strike on his armor.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, it's
still
very,
there.
very
All right.
clearly a good shot.
So now we're here,
And
and that double rattled me. I don't like doubles. I just want him to stay back, and let's see what happens. I don't actually know what happens. I don't know how many numbers. That
Yeah,
okay?
impressive.
This
Look
is the
at that
one.
Okay.
So
Let's
what
see what
happens
that
is
was.
I hit this leg shot, and then
Is that?
you're right actually.
It's not a thrust. It's past the head.
So this is a.
It goes past to the shoulder.
Yeah, that didn't touch.
It touched. It was not sufficient quality
Well,
for a thrust.
I know. So I remember this attack, and I remember feeling this on my cheek, and I remember acknowledging, and because of the high-low priority, this is his point. He gets his
Sure, that's fair.
I have
wouldn't
not seen the
call
footage
that
yet.
Sufficient though.
point.
Did that catch face mask? Hang on.
So it does touch. It's just not.
Yeah, it does touch. You have like a cheek slice, but
So-
it's very light because it's also with the very tip of the blade. And usually,
Listen, I understand what you're saying, and we could
Yeah.
make calls about the force levels here. This gets called at his point because
He did hit.
I acknowledge. I acknowledge
Yeah.
that he hits me here. Charles goes to give me the point.
No. Yeah. Ever
And
the
I-
honorable, ever
I,
the sportsman.
Yeah.
I
You
acknowledge.
contest the point because
contest
he,
the
yeah.
point.
So, and I will say this: I felt it. I did feel contact there, and
Sure.
with the rules, we set rules for quality, and it's very hard to tell without instant video replay. We didn't do that, and it is a debate whether or not that would have counted. And
Yeah.
because it's a debate, we give it to the way the rules were set. So that is a
Correct.
point.
Correct. That I wholeheartedly support.
There we go.
Because
So
it
that
did-
was the fight. And I was impressed with shook hands, everything was nice. We talked about it. And I was impressed with how much he had trained.
Yeah.
And I would love to leave it there.
Yeah.
I would love to leave it there, but we can't. So now we can talk about part 2. So part 2, and this is where I have to give a bit of context and talk about why this could have been something fun and turned out being something fairly stressful for me. So this person came to our gym and said they wanted to do a reverse grip fight and they wanted to train for a year to do it, and that was fine. I went on my way, I did a bunch of other stuff. I didn't really train for this, and I didn't really hear back. I didn't think it was gonna happen. But right before the holidays, as I was in prep for Min-Max, as we were gonna shoot in January, I get word that he wants to do it. And I'm like, fine, sure, when do you wanna do it? And it gets set for sometime after the holidays, and I'm right in the middle of prepping for Min-Max. So I'm not like ignoring this, but I'm not.
You aren't training.
No,
It's
I
on the
didn't,
back
I
burner.
didn't train for
It
this.
was
because this
also
was
at the time he was using one.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
So I found out about 2 weeks before that he'd be using 2 swords, and that
changes everything entirely.
Wait, pause. Hard pause. You found out
2 or 3 weeks.
2 or 3 weeks before you expected a single reverse grip to single sword duel that he was going to effectively increase his weapon.
Yes, but like it was never specified, and it
Okay.
wasn't like it was. I didn't expect it, but I don't think it was done out of like hostility to try and do
Yeah.
something.
It also
No.
does entirely change the context of now it's 2 things versus
Yeah,
1.
2
which
things versus 1, and
we've said a lot of times 2 things is better than one.
better
thing.
is not necessarily the right term. It's harder.
Yeah.
So like long swords aren't designed to be dual wielded because the mechanics are to use 2 hands to do the cut, and you can see in some of these cuts that he didn't really have the rotation to do a lot. They still hit, and if this is a fight to first blood, which it was, I would have bled, right? So, but like cleaving and killing and things like that, right?
It's very different.
But two things is more dangerous for the person who's fighting against it because of the risk of doubles. And that, I didn't really train because like this isn't supposed to be a tournament. This was supposed to be a fun thing. It wasn't supposed to necessarily prove anything. He said he wanted to do an experiment, and I don't consider myself to be like the proving grounds of other people's stuff.
What some may disbelieve.
So that's mostly fine. When he showed up, he stayed in his mask the whole time and never showed his face. I'd already seen it, and I thought that was a little bit weird, but it's okay. I'm not going to judge it. It was a little bit off-putting, but he was friendly enough, and we both called for each other. And afterwards, like, I have some complicated feelings on this that I'll get to in another part of this, but everything seemed fine.
Sure.
And then a day or two ago, I find out from my friends that this person's posting on Reddit about this fight. I have not had time to do this.
We've been very busy with min-maxed. We wrapped filming yesterday.
As soon as I got done with this, I started doing min-maxed, and I did intend to make this video, but it just got put on the back burner
until after min-maxed.
We have a lot of stuff going on.
From what I understand, you get to see this footage for the first time today as we're recording.
Yes, I've not looked at this footage. This is the first time I've seen it. So I find out that he's posting on Reddit and saying like, in such a way that I did so well against David, who is top ranked in this.
To be clear, the official ending score was 5 you, 3 him,
yes, correct.
2
5
doubles.
points
so
for me.
Out of 10, you got
3
half.
points.
He got 3 and 2
which is fine.
doubles.
I admire what he did.
He did a good
job. And I don't think that proves reverse grip is good. I think
he still lost.
I think it proves that he did a good job with something that wasn't that good. I think all of my points still stand because I was able to blow through his structure, because his attacks didn't have a lot behind it, but it was cool.
Yeah.
And
it
also,
was cool.
he trained for a year to do this, and you trained with me 5 minutes beforehand, and you still beat him.
Okay, you're trying to pile it on, but I get what you're saying.
Well, because basically, all that to say, he's a very good martial artist.
Well, yeah, he was accomplished. He was skilled.
Yeah.
The point being that the way that he's posting on the internet is such that, hey, look at David. He's got this ranking, and I did this well against it, so my ideas work. And one of the things that annoyed me a little bit was in one of the posts he says, somebody asked if I was going to make my own video, and he says, I doubt it, as if I'm somehow hiding these results. And it just made me feel kind of used.
Yeah.
It made me feel like somebody used my dedication to this art and my performance and training to try and prove a thing. And that proof was, and this is what got me down, because I actually felt this way a little bit after this fight. I didn't win 10-0, therefore I failed. Right? Isn't that wild?
Yeah, you didn't
felt
win
like
well
I
enough.
lost, and I felt bad after this fight because I didn't win 10-0, even though it was 2 swords, even though I didn't train for it, even though there was whatever else it was. I didn't win enough, and it made me really think about it. Like, is that fair to me? To feel that way? Is it fair for me to feel like I have to? I want to say this. Reverse grip can get points.
Sure.
And I'm not going to deny it. It can have times where you win, but I think that it's not the most effective way to use a sword, and there's almost always a better way to do it. But at the same time, as much as we make memes about it, I don't really care that much, because it's a fun thing to talk about, and it's gotten me a lot of views. But it's not like, I don't like it being my cross to bear.
No, so walking into this from an outside view, let's be clear. While I have been a lifelong martial artist, this would be my 25th year of martial arts in my life, and I've done quite a lot of competitions, varying from sort of small, held in a high school gymnasium, to doing judo at the Arnold. I have gotten to play with a lot of different people in a lot of different ways, and walking into this, I don't have a lot of fencing experience, but what I have noticed, a couple of really important things in this. First and foremost, someone that spends a long time practicing something can make it successful.
Yes, I think that you can be more successful with reverse grip by practicing it.
Very much so.
I just feel like that time, if you are wanting to be effective, is better spent practicing effective things.
I was going to say, and in addition to that, sort of moving into that space, he had some good points.
Yeah.
He had some great understanding of range.
His
and I think
distance management was excellent.
watching this as a non-fencer, but just a martial artist, I could tell that he had a game plan and a strategy, which was, I understand that I have longer limbs than you. I have 2 weapons to your 1, but I still am at a slight disadvantage with my range. So what that's going to mean is that I'm going to have to mask my range and invite you into my space,
Which is my
and then try and
tactic.
exactly and try and overwhelm you with offense when you try to score a point, because that's my best option here.
And that's what I was really afraid of.
Very much so. And when you have someone that holds themselves to a high standard that says, I don't want doubles,
No, I
because
don't.
doubles I still count as a loss.
Loss.
I want a good, clean point, which I respect when it comes to practicing something where I have a big bladed stick. Like, that's what this is. I have a big blade stick, and I'm going to swing it at you and try and cut things off of you. That's what we're practicing without sending a lot of people to the hospital, you know? As often as we can. It happens.
It does happen, yeah.
But one of the things that's really important and fascinating in this is sort of watching as that lifelong martial artist, I've had those wins and those losses. I've had those moments where something has worked really, really well. I've had those moments where someone has said, hey, I've practiced this a bunch, can I try it on you? And those moments where you're like, I really think X or blank about this topic can get at you. Because especially when you have that moment where it doesn't work as well as you thought, or they do better than you expected, and those expectations are usually inwardly pointed. It's something that challenges your core beliefs on the world, and I find that hits even harder when you hold yourself in such high regard. Because if you didn't, let's be clear, you wouldn't be training all the time. You wouldn't be practicing all the time. You wouldn't have the channel that you do. You wouldn't be you if you didn't hold yourself to that high standard, which means you are the meanest to yourself.
So the thing, the thing that I actually agreed at the end of this, we shook hands and he says, hey, I want to do this again in a year. And I was like, yeah, sure. And I don't feel like I want to anymore because this wasn't to me supposed to prove a thing or not. It was a fun thing. And I wanted to end this video being like, yeah, he did good. I was going to compliment him.
Yep.
I was going to do that. And I still am.
Yeah.
I still am.
He was
good.
He came in with
he
a
made
game plan.
something
He made it work better than you were
and
expecting.
than I
it
have
did.
seen anybody else work.
Yeah.
But I still beat it. And I don't like that somehow the
wasn't
perception is that that's not enough. And I don't like having the being used to, like, it just, the way that it made me
hurts.
feel when I saw, like, it was all my friends saying, hey, this guy's posting all this stuff. I'm like, wow, I thought that wasn't the perception we had from this at all. I thought this was a friendly thing, and it wasn't. It was, I'm proving a thing. I'm proving this with David because I almost beat him with this thing that he says could never work. And I didn't say it could never work. I said it's suboptimal because it is. It is. It is. We see the proof.
We've talked a lot about how if you want to hit somebody with the sword, it's not hard. It's
Right.
hard to hit somebody with a sword and remain safe in the process.
Yes.
That very much so. And one of the things that I think is fascinating about this is what I'd like to see from them, right? Because what he's proving is that I think what he's trying to prove is that reverse grip can be an effective way to combat another person.
Yes,
that is, I
it's
believe,
can be effective fighting style.
I think that is the overarching theme here. If that's what he was trying to prove, congrats. He did it. He proved that it can be effective. Now, the degree of effectiveness, that's right. So let's be clear, though. The pedantics with something like this are
it's tough.
important.
The goalpost seems to keep getting moved on me. Like, at first I was like, it's not good. And now it is, it could never succeed ever. And I didn't put it there.
Right.
I meme on it all the time, and I get it. I get that
'Cause it's
people,
funny,
it's
and
so
we laugh
funny,
about it.
and I get it.
What I would
Also,
like
it
to
does
s-
good
oh,
every
go
time.
ahead. Yeah, what I would like to see, though, if you are, so I come from this from a very analytical brain. You guys might know me on the internet for doing Meteor Hammer rope dart work, which is, to be completely fair, a fairly suboptimal tool. It is
You hit me a lot.
It is
Wow.
a rock on a rope that benefits heavily from range, and while it can defend you, the defense comes in the form of overwhelming offense and no ability to stop after.
That's
blow.
kinda how I
Let's be
felt
clear.
here, if I'm
Right, so
honest.
yes,
Yeah.
it's overwhelming offense in lieu of defense. And I think that can be a strategy. No, not it can be. It is. It
Yeah.
is a strategy.
You mentioned that, actually, thinking about this, I don't think he made any parries.
No, I didn't see many.
Not because he was bad.
He made
No,
a couple
it just makes
parries,
it
but
hard.
it didn't matter because you blew through a structure
What
anyway.
I would be interested in seeing, as someone that, when I spar, I want to test. I want to run it again. I want to run it again. I want to run it again because the more I lose, the better I get. That is my internal mentality. What I would want to see is a comparison. let's do double long sword, same person, same amount of time training, double long sword in foregrip. And see how many more points that gets. See what that does for you. So that we can really compare against the only thing that matters, which is yourself in this moment.
The interesting thing to me, and like, I think what the reason this got to me so much was that feeling that nothing I do will ever be enough to make my point, because you can't prove a negative. My negative is that reverse grip is suboptimal, and like everybody can keep trying until they beat me, right? If somebody takes 100 turns to try and they finally beat me once, I have been proven wrong. But is that how?
But the other 99 times you were right.
Yeah,
does that overwhelm
and so
all
like,
that?
and it gets to this, and this is what I wanted to talk to you about, because you get this, but you're in the exact. We're too close.
Yeah, we're in the same.
As
thing.
a martial artist, a competitive martial artist who also has an internet presence, do you feel this? Do you feel this like a target? Like you are somebody to prove something against? Like people want to see you fail? They want to see like your ideas be proven wrong? Do you feel this?
Yes.
How do you?
It's important, actually. I find that one of the hard things about it is that I must acknowledge the importance of that situation in my community, because they look up to me. At the end of the day, the only reason that would ever matter is if they looked up to me. If they thought that I was important, if they thought that what I did in the community mattered, whether that is it matters because I am a teacher and they value me and think I'm doing good, or I'm a teacher in the community and they think I suck and they think that what I'm doing is wrong. I care about the genuine pursuit of knowledge for the people that I espouse it to. I want you to be better than you were yesterday, which means if you come to me and say, I think I can beat you, my answer will be, let's find out. And in the back of my head, I think probably, it depends on the day. Let's find out.
Oh, that's the other thing, right? Like the day. Like I'm not gonna be. So I like going. I actually don't. I hate tournaments because they make me so nervous. Because I feel this. When I'm at a tournament, I feel that every match, everything is on the line. If David, that guy on Seltzer Arts who has all those opinions about things, loses to anybody, anybody who ever thought that he was wrong about anything is proven right.
Not even you lose.
No, I don't win enough.
You didn't get gold.
He
didn't win it hard enough.
And so, like, I understand that comes from this, like, oh no, I'm famous, I'm so sad. It comes from this place of privilege, like, I have this cool thing. But, like, I think what I'm trying to communicate here is I wanted this to be cool. Yeah. I wanted this just to be a thing. And yeah, I was frustrated with myself. But I was, like, thinking about how can I make this video positive? How can I make this video, like, this thing happened, it was interesting. I think my point is still proven. I didn't do as well as I wanted to, but it's still fun.
And by the rules as written, you still won, correct?
I did.
You were up in points.
I was 5-3 with two doubles.
Okay.
And
that's with, as it was called, in the moment.
Well, sure. Yeah, you go back. You can. Clark will debate. What did you think the score was?
He hit you quite flat on one of the doubles, which I think would have been your point, and that the one in the very beginning, he also hit you flat, and I think should have been washed and redone. Okay. I agree that the last one was his point because high-low, which was,
if we're gonna count that, which is
and that flick shot thrust was really
it was really good. No, that was a great shot. It was a great shot.
It was really clean.
So I think that what I want to say is about this whole situation.
Sure.
I am going to make it a positive thing. I wanted to get that out there. I want you to know how I feel, because I do so much of this behind the screen thing. I'm David, and I'm right. And, like, I guess I try not to, but I guess it comes across that way.
There is a persona to portray.
Yeah. But this was fun. It was stressful. And the next time it happens, I hope that we can just leave it at we tried a cool thing and not
go online and talk mad shit.
Yeah, or just, like, I'm a real person. I just want to be out there and have fun. I'm not your metric to test against, because I have good days and I have bad days. And come have fun with me. Come have fun and fence with me and do things with me, and just don't make me feel like I have to always be in tournament mode.
We also try to not portray ourselves as the expert.
No, we're wrong all the time.
We portray ourselves as we are fairly skilled practitioners. Yeah. We are not the best.
If you go back,
we don't know the most.
If you go back and watch my videos, I am a completely different fencer than I was when I started. And a lot of the stuff that I said at the beginning, I'm like, I don't believe that anymore. But, like, videos live forever.
Videos do live forever.
Yeah,
very much so.
Let us be wrong. Let us have days where we suck. And let us have times where we just want to have fun.
What I will do, since I am a guest in here, is I will give you guys something that I give my people. I invite you entirely to talk to us. That's the most important thing. Chat with us.
Yeah.
Talk to us. Tell us what you think, what your thoughts are, whether we agree or disagree. Your voice is important. And we're just here kind of to make cool stuff for you guys and hope you enjoy it. We have ups, we have downs, we have good, we have bad. We are indeed human. And the coolest thing that I want you to pull from this is the realization that on paper, David won. And I want you to hear in his head how he perceives that.
Which is
still.
he didn't win hard
Feel like
enough,
I
That,
which is a loss.
I need you to hear that. Because if that doesn't tell you how human all of us are in this room, I don't know what will. I did it right, but was it enough? Is the thing that drives us to tomorrow, and is why you guys get so many videos.
He's never enough, despite the fact that you were always enough.
Yep.
Clark, you're enough. You didn't wear your hoodie.
That.
I didn't.
Thank
and
you guys very
to
much.
end this video,
Yeah.
good job, man. You made something that is mechanically disadvantageous pretty cool, and it worked.
We were all very
Impressed.
We were terrified it
Yeah.
would be just double
City.
And you did
You did a good job.
your biggest hand shot, the easiest shot you had, gone.
Yeah.
Everything was very
I was
well
incredibly
done.
impressed.
It was impressive.
Great job. Keep at it, and maybe we'll do that duel.
Yeah.
I'm not sure though. We'll see.